outstanding fireworks show. The fun starts at noon and ends when the fireworks do. The 47th Annual God and Country Day. Check out the website, ocalagodandcountry.com. Come celebrate being an American.
Veterans are the foundation upon which our freedom is built. Listen to The Source, WOCA, each Thursday at 9 a.m. to Veterans News with Hank Whittier from Vets Helping Vets. You'll hear tributes, information on veterans issues, and stories that will make you laugh, cry, and feel proud. Veterans News always focuses on the military, past and present, and on our first responders. Veterans News is brought to you each week by Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, keeping you blooming since 1952.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Place the back of your hand on the ground. If you can't hold it for 5 seconds, it's too hot for your dog to walk on. Good skin bacteria can improve our appearance, apparently, and relieve conditions like acne and psoriasis. Women want men who are willing to open up and share themselves. So include some action photos that show off your passions. Shots of you hiking, playing piano, playing softball with your buddies.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
WWWWOCA
WOCA
AM 1370
96.3 FM.
Visit the WOCA website at www.woca.com.
Welcome to the Home Maintenance Show, sponsored by Ace Solves It All, plumbing, electrical, solar, and air conditioning. Ace solves it all. And now here's your host, Charlie DePari.
We're here to help you take care of the critical components of your home's mechanical systems, such as your air conditioning, your plumbing, and your electrical, and keeping your home efficient.
And Charlie, we've been talking a lot about, obviously, summertime and energy savings. Talk to the listeners about some of the great advancements that have been made in air conditioning, and particularly key in on this awesome solar system that Lennox has.
Lennox has a system that the only one that's patented, that you can link solar panels into some of the higher efficiency air conditioning systems that they make, 17 SEER up to 25 SEER, and you can get some great tax write-offs on that as well. It'll pay you back every single day, and you'll be more comfortable because the higher efficiency units, they pull out more humidity. So you're able to turn your thermostat up a few degrees, which will lower your energy bill, and feel just as comfortable, because humidity is what makes us comfortable or uncomfortable. And it's often that we have people call, they'll wait a couple of billing cycles to say, I've saved $160 a month, $150 a month. And even if you have to finance it, we have options for that. It'll pay itself back for free.
One of the things that I've found to be fascinating, as you've described the Lennox system, is the number of panels that can be added. So you could begin with a couple of panels?
A couple of them, yeah.
And a couple of panels. How much energy is that going to produce and pay you back?
The new panels that we're using are 300 watts apiece. And funny you should mention it. Today we're adding some panels to an existing customer who put in a high efficiency unit. He put in 8 panels. You can go up to 16.
Wow.
Today we're putting the other 8. It's been a couple of months, and he saved up a few bucks, and we're back there putting 8 more panels on. Because he's seen a big difference in his home.
Tell people what happens, because instead of paying your energy bill, this is reducing and paying you back.
Yeah, we have one customer that his electric bill, it's a 2-story home, has 2 5-ton units. He's got 32 panels on his. He's got 2 systems. Wow. His electric bill is $40 a month, and he was wondering if he could get it lower. And when he called in, I'm saying, "What the heck are you complaining about? There's nothing wrong with a $40 electric bill."
And he's got big units,
very high efficiency. His house is cold all the time. Plus, it's running his refrigerator, the whole home, and it's working as long as the sun is out.
It's one of those things that it's so good you don't want to tell anyone about it. It's like Is something wrong that $40, but that's interesting. Wants to know if he could get it lower.
And the thing is, you can combine the system when you install it, with the solar panels, and talk to your accountant. You can get a 30% tax credit, a deduction, on the whole components. The whole installation.
Yeah, the government's Energy Star website has a lot of information, and it's literally tax rebates when we're not in the season. And
it's still working.
It's still working, so it's taking and paying you to collect.
Correct, because it's not only when the air conditioner is running, when the sun's out, it's putting energy back into the system. So it's a great thing. It is, buying solar by itself can be a little bit expensive, but the panels are getting more power, and it's getting more economical to do it, I guess you'd say.
And the other thing is technology improves things so rapidly, computer animated design, and I was reading one bit of information on simple things such as the design of a fan now in an AC unit is improved because of the technology of finding a better way, a better shape, and a better pitch.
And to move more air.
Yes. And quiet. That was the other part, is it made the fan better and quieter.
And the air handler and the outside unit and the better units are variable. They ramp up and ramp down. Different than a conventional air conditioner. And the way I'll explain a conventional air conditioner is, it's going 100%. You're putting your car to the floor. Light turns green, you put your car to the floor. And then the red light comes on, it shuts off. The newer high-efficiency ones ramp up and ramp back down. In other words, you might have a 5-ton unit, which is a large unit. But once it cools your house down, it slows down. It might be running at 2-ton just to keep it cool, less than half of its capacity, saving you money and energy all the time. And other things we do for our customers is we put in solar attic fans. Let's get some heat out of that house, because oftentimes these attics are trapped with heat. If you get that heat out, the air conditioner doesn't have to work as hard. And we often alter the ductwork to take care of that room that doesn't heat or cool. When we go to your home, we don't just go replace the 2 boxes. We found out, we do a heat calculation. We find out what's going on in the house. Is it, when you walk across the room, is it a lot warmer there? Because we can balance that house out. So we add solar attic fans from time to time. And we also add blown-in insulation to a lot of our customers' homes, because over the years they didn't have enough, or it compressed down to nothing. So we can bring it up to, whatever our rating.
Insulation's an easy fix, isn't it?
It's an easy fix, and it's not real expensive.
Right.
And it pays back in no time at all.
Describe the ACE Family Value Plan to our listeners, because we're going to make a special offer on the show.
Sure. We have what we call our ACE Family Value Plan. You become a VIP. You get a special phone number when you call the office.
And you get a credit card.
You get a member card.
Yes.
Has a special phone number, gives you the number to call.
A special number.
Special number. Our regular customers don't call in on that line. You get, the red carpet treatment is what you get.
Awesome.
You move to the top of the line if you do have a breakdown and it's an emergency. You don't get put on a list. And generally, we keep your house running, good all the time. There's 3 components to it: electrical, plumbing, and air conditioning. The air conditioning one, we come out twice a year. We service it in the fall and in the spring, get you ready for the 2 seasons. We check all the major components in your system, make sure they're up to manufacturer's standards. There are standards, and if they're below the standard, we'll let you know. We'll let you know if we suggest you should repair it. If you don't, it may show up down the line, and you can do damage. The other thing is, over time, the manufacturers are giving better warranties on their equipment, but you have to maintain an agreement. If you don't maintain an agreement...
No different than a car.
They have the right to say, no, we're not going to give you a new motor. No, we're not going to do this. And it has to be by a licensed contractor. So we check all those components. We keep it working right. We clean out the condensate line, which is the drain line. And folks, if your drain line hasn't clogged up yet, it will. And the newer ones have a float switch on it. When it clogs up, it shuts the unit down. Years ago, it just flooded. but now it shuts the unit down. And then on the electrical side, we come out once a year. We check all your electrical system for safety to make sure everything's safe. You have the right breakers, the right wire size, tighten connections. We change the batteries in your smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector if you have it, and make sure everything's safe. And then plumbing, we go out and we locate and show you where your main water valve is. Some houses don't have it. You got to go to the street. If you don't, we'll recommend you put one in. And we don't put in gate valves, which is the valve that spins, round and round and round. We use ball valves, which are a quarter turn. And the reason you don't see that in new construction, Jerry, you want to give me an idea?
Yes, it's because of the price.
Yeah.
That's a cheap one, and this one costs some money, and it works really well.
But you need to, folks, I've been stressing this for years. You need to know where your main water valve is.
Absolutely.
Where your main electrical disconnect is if you have something bad going on.
Turn it off if you go on vacation.
And turn off your water if you go on vacation, because things that never get shut off are the hot and cold water at a washing machine. And you have rubber hoses, which I don't suggest. You should have stainless steel hoses. But they burst, folks, and they're a half-inch hose. They move a lot of water. And you should be surprised. You have leaks there. Another popular one is, of course, the drain line for the AC, and another one is the water line for a refrigerator. They seem to be the big components of leaks, and they leak when you're not home, folks. Just like smoke detectors. We go to many people's homes and the smoke detectors aren't up. They took them down because the battery was beeping. They start to beep between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why. For whatever reason. Haven't figured that one out yet. So they take it down. They might break it with a hammer. They go crazy. But those are all safety items, You see on the news sometimes that they had a fire, and yes, they had smoke detectors, but they were inoperable. Shame on us, we got to keep them working.
And they don't last long, folks. Charlie's telling us 7 years on some and 10 on others, but go to the safe side and go, if it's 5 years old, put a new one in. Well, it's going to be a better unit anyway.
Yeah, they're all gotten better. And there's different types, and our guys can educate you on that. And a key to how old it is, when you look up at your ceiling, if it's yellow in color, You'll see many yellow ones out there. The plastic turns yellow after a while. They're bright white when they go in, and there is a date on them. Most of them quarter turn, it snaps out. There's a date on the back. But we check all those components in your home. If you need any repairs, you get a 15% discount off all of our work, and you never pay an emergency
at any time
fee.
throughout the
at any
year.
time throughout the year, and of course we warranty everything we do anyway. But it's important that you maintain your home. It's cheaper to maintain it than to react when it breaks.
Folks, what Charlie's been describing is the ACE Family Value Plan, and that it's a service agreement that covers your home's air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical for a full year. And that plan for all three trades normally sells for $289.95. But as a result of listening to the show, some of you are going to be able to get in on a special deal. You will get the ACE Family Value Plan for $139.95, and that's less than half price. So if you like to save money and you like good value, grab your cell phone. Again, it's only good for the first 10 callers. Let me give you the number, 877-223-2968 for the ACE Family Value Plan, covering your home's AC, electrical, and plumbing for a full year. One more time, the number is 877-223-2968.
And a simple thing you can do, and most people are sloppy with this, and when's the last time you changed a filter? When's the last time you changed a filter in your house, Jerry? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Well, that's very good, because it was last week, and my wife and I were discussing. We laugh about it because of my conversations with you, and we have a 25 by 25 filter, and that's not available at every store. So you have to be wise and buy ahead, and that's what I do. I come home with a
if you have
packages.
If you can't get out to get filters, or you have trouble finding them, You can go to my website, Solves It All. Click on the air conditioning tab. It'll say filters. Click on it, and you can buy them there, and we'll ship them right to your home. You don't have to go buy a case, and buy the good
That's
pleated,
smart, folks.
Buy the good pleated ones. When you go to, the grocery store or the box store, they have the inexpensive filters that if you hold up, you can see everybody down the end of the hallway. Well, how much dirt is that going to catch? They're rock catchers. They're going to let your coil get filthy. Your coil gets filthy, it's not a good thing. If it gets so dirty, we have to do what's called a pull and clean. Evacuate all the refrigerant, cut the lines, take the coil physically out of the air handler, bring it out in the outside and give it a good bath. It's very expensive.
Somebody listening to this show right now, in about 2 months' time, is going to say to themselves, I heard that guy talking about changing the filter. I didn't. And now look at this bill because what happened? I ruined the condenser in my air conditioning.
And put the date on it when you put the filter in and find out how many times you skip a month or two. Because time flies, we're all busy.
It's a wake-up call. We're all busy. Husbands and wives both have outside careers or whatever, and it gets away from you. My other little trick that I have is I place them in the room that's going to the garage. So 2 things. I can see how many I have, and it's a reminder when was the last time. And as you well know, we've got the dog, so we change it more often because of the hair. They happen to be border collies, and those dogs have a lot of hair on them.
Good point. And there's other things we can do if you have allergies and different things. We can put electronic filters in, an air scrubber, UV lights, ozone. Makes a big difference. The other day, one of my techs was at a customer's home. Their air conditioner wasn't working right. We put it in 2 years ago, brand new. They have 5 dogs.
Oh, my gosh.
They don't change their filter. They need a pull and clean after 2 years. Shame on them, you know what I mean? They're ruining their system.
It's the same analogy that you always make with the car. You just put the pedal to the metal and you drive it, and you don't maintain it, and you're going to seize up.
And that allergy stuff we talked about, like I have good filtration in my own home, a thick filter, and I have some HEPA filters. I went a little overboard, but my system's 4 or 5 years old. If you open it up, it looks like it was just put in. It's brand spanking new. And it's just good filtration. And that's one of the most important things you can do, folks. And remember this, if you've heard me in the past, if you don't change your filter and you get all that dirt and hair and stuff, you become the filter. Because every piece of air in your house is circulating many times a day through that air handler to cool the whole home. And that's very, very important. If you see around your grills up in the ceiling, black on the ceiling, that means all your ductwork is dirty, your air handler is dirty.
Do you clean ductwork?
We do clean ductwork. Yes, we do.
And that's a dangerous trade, as I understand, because there's a lot of people out there that say they clean ductwork, but they actually destroy ductwork.
And you're supposed to be a licensed air conditioning company to touch ductwork, There's carpet guys out there. You see the bandit signs at the red lights,
Right.
Clean all your ducts for $29.95. Folks, let's think about this for a minute. It costs more than that to drive to your home.
Yeah.
But one thing we do, we inspect ductwork as well, because ductwork doesn't last much more than 20 to 25 years in this state, because the way we install air conditioning systems, when you think about it, you put an air handler somewhere in the home, you chill that air as cold as you can, and then you push it up into the attic in the warmest environment in the house, 150 degrees today, probably up there. And it's just the mastic where it joins together on fittings and boxes and collars. Over time, it breaks down, then it starts to leak. If they don't check your attic, when they come to put a new system or quote a new system, and you have an older home, they're doing you a disservice, because if your ducts were leaking before with the old system, they're leaking with the new system.
And you're just wasting all that energy and money.
Another heads up, and this happens too often. If your outdoor unit fails or your indoor unit fails, you have to put a matched pair in there. You can't just change one system. It doesn't meet it would never pass inspection. It has to be a match system.
It's like buying a pair of shoes one at a time.
That's exactly right. And it's going to be very, very inefficient, you know. Will it run? Will it cool your house? Yes. Is it efficient? No. And the sad thing is you may put in that one piece, let's say half of it, which you shouldn't, and then 6 months or a year later the other one fails. Now you got to get 2 new pieces because it's the old refrigerant, and you got to get 410A now. And the money you spent on the old single piece is gone.
Again, proper maintenance, folks. We're going to go ahead and make the offer one more time here on the show, and then we'll get back to this important topic. The Ace Family Value Plan normally sells for $289.95 day in and day out, and you can learn more about it at acesolvesitall.com. But on the radio show, because you're taking the time to learn about home maintenance, Charlie has agreed to make a special offer. This is going to be good for 10 callers. Here's what you're going to get. The Ace Family Value Plan covering your home's air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical for 1 full year for $139.95. That's less than half price, folks. So if you are quick and can get in on the deal, get your cell phone and get ready to dial. Here's the number, 877-223-2968. Again, 877-223-2968 for the Ace Family Value Plan covering your home's AC, electrical, and plumbing for a whole year. 877-223-2968. Charlie, one of the things that I often hear you talk about with changing filters in the home is the type, not only the type of filter that you recommend, but the whole idea of planning ahead, having, like you said, you can order them and have them, but the monthly reminder being your power bill.
Your power bill, you can do it electronically now with your phone. There's many ways you can do it. On your computer, you can set an appointment, tell it. And folks, you know who you are if you're listening to us today and you haven't changed your filter. After the show, do us all a favor. Go change your filter. I don't want you to be one of the customers that call us at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, or 9 o'clock at night. My AC's down. Can you come now? Because if you call Ace or any other company at that time of night, it's going to be expensive. And
understandably so.
So if you maintain your system, by having a reputable contractor coming out twice a year, some people do it once a year. I certainly suggest twice a year. Think about how long that air conditioner runs. If you had a meter on it, how many hours a day, a week, a month, a year, right? And we use our air conditioners 12 months of the year. Sometimes in the wintertime, we run the heat at night and the air conditioning during the day. The thing never gets a break. But change that filter. Very, very important.
Another thing that the people who have just purchased a brand new, just built home in the last year, you may be listening to the show and going, oh, well, later on I might get into home maintenance, but I don't need that because I have a brand new home. Folks, if you got in on the Ace Family Value Plan and had an inspection of your home's electrical, plumbing, and air conditioning, you're going to discover most likely things that were installed wrong. And Charlie and his crew see this day in and day out in brand new homes.
Yeah, I find brand new homes we go out to and they don't have a filter. It wasn't put in.
Can you imagine that? You buy a house and they just skipped it.
Well, the way I like to keep things simple, I'm not real complicated, but if you buy a new car, whatever it is, a Chevy or a Cadillac, it doesn't matter. Just because it's new, do you not change the oil?
Right.
I'm telling you, people take better care of their automobiles than they do their home. They just don't think about it,
But a new homeowner could get their home inspected.
Right, and they come home, and it's blowing cold. Everything's good, We had a customer very recently that a friend of mine in a home for a couple of years. He called me. It wasn't cooling. It would only get to 84. I asked him, when's the last time he put a filter in it? And never did. since day one. So I said, change your filter and call me in a day or so. Maybe it's plugged up and so forth. And come to find out, there was no insulation in his home from day one. I had him put a filter in.
Can you imagine that, folks? No, you go up in this brand new home, up in the attic where it gets really hot, and there is zero installation.
And he's been paying electric bill for a couple of years, couple of years. And we found a few like that. And so he called the builder. They came down and added insulation and so forth, and now he's good.
Folks, this is the ACE Family Value Plan offer. One quick time, if you heard me describe it, covering your home's air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical, normally $289.95, but for 10 quick callers, you're going to get the plan for $139.95. Here's the number to call, 877-223-2968. And you've been listening to the Home Maintenance Show, sponsored by Ace Solves It All. Ace is there to take care of your home's air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical, and solar as well. We appreciate you listening, and if you'd like more information on Charlie's company, Ace Solves It All, go to acesolvesitall.com.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Pat O'Neill. A victory for abortion rights proponents. The Supreme Court striking down a Texas law requiring doctors who perform abortions to have admitting privileges to hospitals and forcing clinics to have full hospital standards.
Challengers argued the law was actually intended to close most clinics and limit women's access to abortions. Justice Stephen Breyer wrote for the majority, concluding that Texas' arguments were unpersuasive.
Fox News Radio's Jaron Halpern in Washington. In another decision, the High Court also overturned the bribery conviction of former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell. The cleanup underway in West Virginia, where a week of flooding has left 23 dead and several people missing. One of those who died was the husband of Diana Sanders.
36 years in October, but we lived together for a year. They found him in between them two houses.
Flash flood warnings still up for 20 counties in the state. Fox News, we report, you decide.
The Ford Freedom Sales Event is on. It's our biggest event of the year, giving you the freedom to save. Now get 0% Ford credit financing on a huge selection of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, specially tagged Ford vehicles get 1,000 smart bonus cash. That's freedom from interest and freedom to choose from Ford Focus, Fusion, and Escape. Even Ford Edge, Explorer, or the Built Ford Tough F-150. No wonder Ford is America's best-selling brand. During the Ford Freedom Sales Event, get 0% Ford credit financing on a huge selection of Ford vehicles. Plus, specially tagged vehicles get 1,000 smart bonus cash. Not all buyers qualify for Ford Credit Limited Term Financing. Supply of vehicles with smart bonuses limited. Not available on Focus RS, Shelby GT350, Transit, Transit Connect E-Series, F650, and F750. See dealer or go to Ford.com for qualifications and complete details. For all offers, take new retail delivery from dealer stock by 8/1/2016. Sales claim based on 2015 calendar year sales.
It's time for Farmer Ranch headlines of the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. The Financial Times is reporting this past week that European peanut fans may be facing a roasting because of a shortage of peanuts in the global markets. They said rising demand from health-conscious consumers in China has coincided with bad weather in key growing regions such as Argentina and South Africa, leaving many traders scrambling for supplies of peanuts. Martin Menopause, also of the Netherlands, said, "We definitely see a supply problem for a period of June to October of this year. Argentina has increased their price over 20%. Appetites from Chinese importers has been behind the dwindling inventories on the international market." They say demand for peanuts and peanut oil has surged as more people are snacking on the ground nut and using the oil for cooking. Anya Paul Jindal of Olam said, that may be markets for the future for American peanuts.
Peanut growers, peanut picking time is right around the corner. Is your crop ready to maximize its production this season? Pegging time is critical for growers who want the most production and the best peanuts at the market, and that means giving the plants what they need the most.
Tessenderlo Curley's products are sulfur-based compounds designed for the liquid fertilizer market.
Tessenderlo Curley's Southeastern sales representative Ed Lowndes says the TKI Crop Vitality product line has some unique characteristics, making active ingredients easier and quicker for the plants to absorb.
Our products are thiosulfate-based sulfur, which differ from a lot of other sulfurs in that they are soluble sulfur, and the compounds that we blend with them, calcium, potassium, or nitrogen, are all soluble compounds designed for the liquid fertilizer market.
Don't miss out at peanut pegging time. Be sure your crop gets what it needs when it needs it, and be certain it can then absorb what you apply. Ask your distributor about the Crop Vitality product line from Tessenderlo Curley.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
It's the end of the fiscal year, and that means budget cuts and number crunching. Now's the time of the year you're evaluating your expenses, planning your budget, and finding ways to save money and increase efficiency to maximize profits. Dex Imaging understands and delivers. Call Dex Imaging today for a free document management evaluation. Cutting your office expenses is as easy as calling Dex Imaging, 352-266-0333. Start saving money today and increase your bottom line with Dex Imaging. Printers, copiers, and fax machines that increase office productivity and save you money. No one understands your bottom line better. Call Dex Imaging today, 352-266-0333, or check them out on the web at deximaging.com.